You know, most people don't think they can afford nice watches. They typically will say, watches are so expensive, I must look at cheaper alternatives. And then they come up with Invicta as their go-to watch. So I'm about to show you why Invictas are just poor people thinking and what you can do to still get an incredible lower price watch, but a quality watch at that. In today's episode of Watch Trading Academy, we are going to take a look at the power of Invicta and why it is the world's crappiest watch, and more importantly, why you're really poor if you actually wear one. And when I say poor, I'm not even talking about financially poor, I'm talking about poor-minded, because a lot of people don't understand what they're really buying when they buy an Invicta watch. And so we're gonna look in detail about that. But also don't forget, before we get started, a great place where you can find great watches at great prices, a word from our sponsor. As one of the most profitable watch traders in America, I get asked this question a lot. Where do you go to sell your watches? Because buying them seems to be easy, but selling them seems to be the hard part. Well, simply put, I use this tool called Grailzy. See, Grailzy.com is an auction platform where you can list watches that are high-end watches, of course, and get auction bids by real retail buyers, not just industry wholesalers or traders like in Facebook groups. This is a huge opportunity for you as a watch trader or as a watch enthusiast to sell and buy watches via this auction platform. It's safe, it's easy to use, and more importantly, they guarantee the authenticity of each and every watch, giving your buyers or sellers the peace of mind when they're doing their transactions. So make sure you check out Grailzy.com to use this incredible auction platform. And again, don't forget, I never endorse something I don't use or believe in. This has been my motto for the last 10 years, and I can't recommend Grailzy enough.
Grailzy, buy and sell iconic timepieces.
All right, guys, we are back. Listen, Invicta watches are just a disease, and I'll tell you why. Because you're basically buying a $300 watch that's worth 20 to 30 cents. Not 20 to 30 cents on the dollar, literally 20 to 30 cents. This is a crappy watch that you can buy, basically that is manufactured in Asia, comes here, is literally a few dollars, and they're selling it for $300 to $400. If you ever see a major liquidity markdown at the store saying 70% off the entire store, they're still making money. And so that has to make you start to think, wait a minute, if they're getting 70% off later, why does that make any sense? And the reality is Invicta watches are just crap in every way possible. They are driven and made for people that basically want attention for having a watch that looks like a major designer watch, just like Rolex, Patek, AP, etc. Because they have very distinct designs that mimic those designs at very cheap prices. And it's not just the movement that's cheap, it's everything about the watch, from its bad metals to everything else. But what people don't realize when they're in that market is they think that, naturally speaking, they are going to be in a position where they can just buy a watch like an Invicta, for example, and save themselves thousands of dollars from buying, let's say, for example, a better watch such as a Bell & Ross or a Panerai or something like that, because they are comparing retail pricing. They simply go to the store and they go, how much is the Panerai? They go, 9,000. They go, how much is this Bell & Ross? They go, 4,000. They go, how much is Invicta? 500. Well, I can afford 500, so I'm just gonna buy a $500 Invicta. But they don't think like a wealthy person. How do we preserve the wealth into the watch? That is the part that watches are great for. We see poor people don't know that. They typically say they're consumers, they're buying things. They're just buying things, wasting them. No different than when you go to a hotel, you pay for a hotel, you use it, the money's gone. When you buy an Invicta, you spend $500, the money's gone. The power though comes from this incredible ability to understand how to preserve wealth through watches. You can do something pretty incredible, okay? What you can do is literally buy a Bell & Ross at 20 to 30 cents on the dollar, which means that you're buying a Bell & Ross for like 800 or 900 bucks. And that 800, 900 bucks will be preserved as long as you own that watch. And that is a pretty powerful statement to be able to say, not only I bought a great watch, but in 5 years, in 2 years, when I'm in a position to make even more money, I am now able to literally take that watch, get my money back, even maybe some more of that, if you've been following Watch Trading Academy and you know how to. And if you don't, click the link in the description. I will teach you how to trade watches, including how to buy a Bell & Ross at that dollar. In addition to that, you can literally click the link and join our community so other people can support you doing it. But let's get back to this. So buy this Bell & Ross at a couple of cents on the dollar, get it to retain its value correctly, and then upgrade it to your next great watch. The power of watches, you can keep upgrading just like a car, except never losing the core value if you're buying the right watches correctly. But that is something that can never be done with a consumer mindset, and more importantly, in Invicta. For more information like this, simply like, follow, turn on notifications, and don't forget to leave in the comments. Do you really love Invicta? Do you really? Are you one of those people? I'd love to hear more.
People go like, who would spend 50 grand for a watch? $50,000 watches are in the mail every day. Like,
I never got into buying watches because I never had the awareness. I just assumed that a used watch was just a dangerous play.
I had no clue about watches before I started.
But then I started seeing a watch trading academy and I went, that's awesome. Portable, I can do part-time, I can do it whenever I want.
They're small, easy to ship, no regulation, no registration, and the dollar numbers can be anywhere from $100 to $100,000.
The return on that was pretty big, 35% ROI.
And I ended up selling that watch for $9,900.
Making $1,500 on a $3,000 watch was mind-blowing.
The course progression has gotten me into using watches as an investment class. Buying higher end pieces, hanging on to them, watching them appreciate in value.
Really just take me out of this consumerism mindset, more to this mindset of keeping your wealth while enjoying the item.
I became a firm believer in getting investments that I can actually enjoy, not just sit in the closet somewhere.
I told you in the past, my goal is to do as little as possible and make as much as possible. It really does not take much of my time at all.
You're giving us the information that's teaching us how to work with everything.
I could not have imagined that this is how it's going to be. I mean, the experience is, it's excellent.
It's something crazy. You tell that to somebody and they won't believe it. Until you experience it and you do it and you tell them it's true. There's thousands, even millions of watches that there's plenty of money to be made.
you see all these success stories. How many more do you need? Everybody's got a nicer car. Everyone's got a nicer watch. Everyone has more money in their bank account. Everyone's going on trips with their family, taking care of their wives, taking care of their kids. If you got doubt, like have doubt. Cool, more room for us, right? But like, there's too many case stories now. There's too many successes. PJ's built way too great of a community. The tools have ever adapted. I mean, 100K Club, right? Is that much faster? I mean, you just got to get started.
Watch Trading Academy. Learn how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in luxury timepieces